Hey everybody. In today's little tutorial, we're going to walk through the process of kind of creating our first Stata data set, grabbing data from an external source. In this case, as you can see, Yahoo Finance. We're going to look at some stock prices, daily data, and just see how to take it from the website, put it into Excel file, make it look like we want it to, and then finally import it into Stata. In part 2, we'll look at how to merge that data file with an additional file from an extra source, and then we'll be ready to run some multivariate time series regressions. So in this case, we'll look at, say, an individual stock. Choose obviously whatever you want. Here I'm going to look at Bank of America, so I'll just put in the ticker symbol there, BAC. And Yahoo Finance, very conveniently, gives us this little spreadsheet view online of our open price, high, low, close, and the adjusted close and the trade volume for each day. And we can adjust how far back we go. Here the default is 1 year's worth of data, about 250 trading days. And we'll go ahead and stick with that. And we want those historical prices on daily frequency, so we'll go ahead and hit apply with all those parameters. And then we just hit download data, and it's going to give us a nice little Excel file already created for us. And for our purposes, let's just make sure we have the data that we want here. So starting a year ago from when I'm doing this, so 11/17/2017, all the way up through today, November 17th, through the 16th, which is actually today, 2018. So that's all there. And we're just going to focus on this variable here, the adjusted close. So we can go ahead and get rid of the open, high, low, and close for each day. So we can just highlight those and delete. And since this is how it's going to show up in Stata, we'll probably want to change the name there so we can keep track of it. So we just put in the name of the ticker symbol, and that's going to be the price level at the end of trading each day. And then maybe we'll call this volume VBAC. So we can just name it according to your own convention using the name of the firm. And then we're going to want to add to this the level of the S&P 500, so that'll be playing the role of the market and the market return eventually. So let's go back to Yahoo Finance, and the ticker symbol for that S&P 500 is the caret, and then GSPC right here. So we go ahead and type that in, or in my case, click on it there. And we want exactly the same parameter, so the most recent year's worth of daily frequency historical prices. Here, first, the level of the index. And don't forget to hit apply. So it's going to give us those parameters. And then download data, and it's going to give us yet another very convenient little Excel file. We're just going to want this one column here. And it's probably best if we just put this side by side with our stock price data. So let's go ahead and copy that and go back to our BAC data here. So Control V, let's paste that in, and we'll just rename that SP. So this is exactly what we want to put into Stata. So let's go ahead and open up a nice new window of Stata, so we see there's no variables in there right now. There's a couple ways we could do this. We could go up here to File, Import, and Stata will directly recognize Excel spreadsheets as well as CSV files, text files, SAS export files, and we can actually import directly from the Federal Reserve Economic Database. We'll see that next time. But in this case, because we don't have a whole lot of observations and not too many different variables here, probably the best way to do this is just to click up here on the data editor icon, the little spreadsheet with a pencil. Obviously, that's going to let us bring up that spreadsheet view and then change what we see in there. And we can just go ahead and paste right from Excel into this spreadsheet view. So if we go here and just collect up all those columns, copy and switch back over to Stata and Control V, and Stata is going to ask us if that top row should be the variable names, and of course they are. That's the way we've set it up. So go ahead and click on variable names. And now we've got all of our observations and the variable names that we wanted. Now note that we do have a date variable here, and the fact that it's in red font here, what that means is Stata is unable to read it as numerical value. So anything in red, Stata is reading as a text or a string value. So we're not going to be able to use that in any estimation or any graphs. So we'll take a look a little bit later at how to generate a Stata readable and human readable formatted date. But probably the best next step for us, so if we go back to Stata here, we see there's our 4 variables: the date, the price level for Bank of America, the volume each day, and then the level of the S&P, is just so we have a variable that will uniquely identify each observation that Stata can read, is we'll go ahead and generate a time trend. So we can just generate a new variable, call it trend, equals underscore little n. And if we hit enter, so we've created this new trend. And what that Stata code does for us, we type in BRO, short for browse, it'll bring that browser back up. And there it is. So it just incremental increases by 1 unit for each day in our data set. And if, for example, we wanted to generate a graph, we're going to have to tell Stata that that's going to be our variable. So if we say TS set trend, so that's our time series variable, and that can be used along the time horizontal axis on our graphs here. So we type in TS line BAC. This looks like it's a little 1-year trend of those prices. And we see we had quite an up and down year, basically ended up right where we started off. But that's going to be the basis of what we can do from here on out. Just how to import that data. So, thanks for watching. Come back next time and we'll see how to merge this with some macro data from the Federal Reserve Economic Database.